The 1950s and 60s are often regarded as the golden age of airlines, offering luxurious seating, fancy meals, and beaming flight attendants. So what was it really like to fly during the Elvis era? Let's take a trip through the many ups and downs of getting around in the olden days. For all the complaints of modern air travel, there's no denying that it's significantly more affordable than it has ever been to fly. And it wasn't uncommon to pay 5 times as much as you would today, creating a business solely accommodating the wealthy. According to one TWA brochure from 1955, a round-trip ticket from Chicago to Phoenix went for a deceptive total of $138. When accounted for inflation, that amount translates to roughly $1,200 in modern dough, and that's not even a cross-country trip. It's hard to imagine wearing your tight-fitting Sunday's finest to spend hours sitting elbow to elbow with a congested stranger, but this was exactly the case. Due to the high cost of travel, many people would save up in order to fly, making the ordeal way more of an anticipated event than a vacation hindrance. Acceptable attire was more commonly 3-piece suits for men and dresses and jewelry for women. As flights became more common and prices went down, the formality slowly waned until the 1980s, when travelers began dressing for comfort rather than appearance. Nice sweatpants, Chachi. Combine all this with the fact that you were over 4 times more likely to die on a flight in 1952 than today, and it's no wonder that airlines were so dedicated to making their customers happy.
Come fly with me, let's fly away. If you can use some exotic, so there's a far Bombay. Come on and fly with me. Let's fly away. Come fly with me. Let's fly. Pack up, let's fly away. Like a small bag.
The people of Kitty Hawk had always been generous and kind to Orville and Wilber. Friendly, warm, sharing their food and other worldly goods, sparing no effort to assist in any way that they could provide physical comfort. And they were also open in their respect for the brothers. Most of them, however, felt less convinced about the Wright's ability to fly. Kitty Hawk was an area where the reaction to flight was often expressed in such familiar bits of folk wisdom as, "If God had wanted man to fly, he would have given him wings."
Are you kidding me?
No. It's the first umbrella helicopter made its bow.
Spread yourself. You don't never need help from nobody else. All you got to do now, spread yourself.
Seriously?
Whatever you do, do it good. Whatever you do, Lord, Lord, do it good. Oh yeah. It's not what you look like when you're doing what you're doing.
The Wright brothers, though, had different ideas. Shortly before 12 o'clock, Wilbur took his position on the flying machine. The engine sputtering and clattering in its strange thunder, his peak cap was pulled snug across his head, the wind blowing across the flats. Instantly, the machine rushed forward, and as he expected, he eased into the air. A sudden downdraft pushed the flyer towards the sand. Only a foot above the ground, Wilbur regained control and eased it back up. Then the 5 witnesses and Orville were shouting and gesturing wildly, for it was clear that Wilbur had passed some invisible wall in the sky and regained control. The airplane was flying smoother now, no longer darting and lunging about. The seconds ticked away and was sustaining itself by its own power. It was flying. The moment had come. It was here now, 500 feet, 600, 700. My God, he's trying to reach Kitty Hawk itself, nearly 4 miles away. And indeed, this is just what Wilbur was trying to do. For he kept heading towards the houses and trees that were well before him, 800 feet, still going, still flying. Ahead of him, a rise in the ground, a sprawling hump, a hammock of sand. The winds were simply too much, and the flyer suddenly darted into the ground. The aircraft bounced once and settled back into the sands. Unhurt, aware that he had been flying marvelously a long time, Wilbur shut off the power. The wind, the sand hissing against the fabric of his own clothes, a smile on his face. No one ever recorded what words Wilbur had used in that moment, and no amount of research has been able to unearth them. It's unfortunate, because they are lost forever. He had flown for 59 seconds, more than a half a mile. They had done it. The air age was now. Orville and Wilbur, stiff with cold, went to their living quarters where they prepared and ate lunch. There they would dispatch a commercial telegraph, which would say, "To the residents of Dayton, Ohio, success." As they went back outside to stand and look over the ground to which they had just flown. Pretty sure them Wright brothers are up there right now, showing them angels a thing or two about how to fly. So what about you? You gonna work hard too? No telling what you might accomplish.
The sky is the limit.
Things are going to start looking up.
Hey, listen, you were born to fly.
I believe I could fly right on out of here. Go get it.
So you're talking about the Wright brothers? You're telling me they're from Ohio? They're from North Carolina? Guess what? They took off from Kill Devil Hills, North Carolina. What I want to know, though, is why isn't anybody talking about the Tea Party up in Boston? Learn the pocket cars.
You don't
Learn.
need help.
You still here? Go get it.
Learn the pocket cars, and then we can spread our arms and fly.
Spread yourself.
Airplane launch, take 1.
Whatever you do,
Up, up, and away!
do
Where'd it go?
good.
Oh, that was underwhelming.
Seriously?
Lord, Lord.
Students, I want to teach you something very important today. What? First, love yourself. Very simple.
It's not what you
Go.
look like when you're doing what you're doing. It's what you're doing when you're doing what you look like you're doing. Express yourself.
Action.
Do
so easy.
Express yourself.
The boys out of the game.
They're doing it on the moon, y'all. In the jungle, too. Everybody on the floor.
No way.
A kangaroo. So let the horn do the
Get out of here.